Gente, welcome back. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Good Days Only podcast. GDO, good coffee, good vibes, good music. That's what we're all about. And today is an exciting episode, number 62. I think, you know what, dude? I might have messed up the count somewhere along there. I might have forgot to which one. So I don't know. We might be 62. It might be not 62. It might be 61 or 63 or 64. Who knows? But thank you, in any case, for being here. Today's going to be a fun one. Strap in. Aight. Because we're going to be talking about a little bit of the history of drive-through coffee culture. What you know about that? All right, dude. So I went through this little spot the other day, right over here, right around the way. It's called Lighthouse Coffee Company, and it used to be called Bay Street, just Bay Street Coffee, I believe. And it was a little nice, cute little drive-through pull up. You know, you get your caffeine, you get your little bagel, you get your whatever, and then you pull off. And it's convenient, quick, easy. Dude, give me caffeinated, and that's it. And it was cool. It inspired this episode. And I want to talk about some drive-through coffee culture. Because think about it, dude. How awesome is that? How convenient is that? Just pulling up somewhere, you don't even get out of your car, and you just, hey, give me this and that. I want my nice little Mexican mocha. I got a jalapeno pepper jack bagel with some cream cheese on there. I was going to the Les Schwab, and sheesh, dude, that combination, it's so delicious. Let me actually get a little sip of this coffee. Right now, what am I sipping on? I'm sipping on this blend. Actually, I got it at Trader Joe's, and it's okay. It's a dark roast. It's Five Countries blend, I think is what it's called. And it's like Indonesia, Colombia, Africa, Ethiopia, somewhere else in Africa. But that's not what we're talking about, dude. Let's get back to coffee, drive-through coffee culture. All right. So let's rewind a little bit. All right. Envision this. Picture this, dude. It's the 1930s. Pre-World War II, though, before the war. Henry Ford been popping off in the automotive industry, right? The US, dude, we're falling in love with cars. You remember those? Well, actually, we just saw one drive through. Like, it just pulled through the street the other day. One of those old ass cars. They had like the roof, the top was just like a little canopy. You know, I don't think there were actually any windows in it, but like OG car. But dude, from those old ass cars with like the thin wheels that didn't even have, like, it was wood still. The rims were wooden. Like from one of those to like a Tesla now. Think about that. That's crazy. Imagine if you took somebody from 1930 and you just like put them in a Tesla. How crazy would that be? How crazy would that be? Even just actually for us too. Like, imagine regular old Joe Schmo just pull somebody off the street and put them in a 1930s first edition Ford, whatever it was called. But most people probably wouldn't even be able to drive that, actually. Because a lot of people don't know how to drive stick these days. And I don't know if there were automatic transmissions that early on. Probably not. I don't know. Somebody look that up. We're going to keep talking about this, though. Okay, so drive-through coffee culture. We got cars in the 1930s, right? We're whipping around. And because of that, we're on the go. Drive-throughs became a thing. It started with drive-through like burger joints, right? There's this one spot that is coined as one of the world's first drive-throughs. on the notorious Route 66, Red's Giant Hamburg in Missouri, Springfield, Missouri, actually popped open in 1947. So now we're in the 40s, right? Um, that spot's actually still there. It's still active. It went through some closures in like the 80s, but since has resurfaced and has been slanging them old style American burgers, baby. That diner food, man. Let me get a little sip of this water, actually. Um, so 1940s, right? So 1940, 1947, we got drive-thrus. Now we fast forward again another 40 or so years, 40, 50 years. Now we're in the 1990s, dude. The era of saggy pants and frosted tips, dude. I always wanted frosted tips. Never got them. It's not too late, I suppose. Might have to circle back to that. Um, so 1990s, dude. That's when the first ever drive-through only coffee stand pops up. Where did that pop up? You might say. I'll give you a second. Get your thoughts in order. If you guessed the PNW, you are correct. Where in the PNW, you might ask? Where the Columbia and the Willamette Rivers meet. Portland, Oregon. Motor Mocha is the name of the spot, or was the name of the spot. The pioneer in drive-through coffee culture, providing customers with quick access to espresso drinks without leaving their cars. That's so convenient, dude. A luxury. Imagine, dude, you're whipping around in the 1990s, dude. Like that's that long ago. Whipping around, dude. Get yourself a nice little caffeine. Get yourself on the road. We're go, go, go. We're busy, dude. So think about that too. It lines up with, the coffee history timeline, like this, the first, second, and third waves of coffee, right? So second into third was around the 90s, 2000s. And so that lines up with so second to third wave, right? Second being coffee is more of a experience. Cafes, you go somewhere, you get your caffeine from a producer, a roaster, a cafe. Now, the third wave is more recent, like 2000s till now, right? Where you're looking more at the origins, the traceability of beans. You're getting into, the sustainable farming, all these things. So it's kind of right in line with that, right? Runs parallel. Somewhere in the 90s, we get drive-through coffee, and then it's a culture of its own. Here's the thing, though, dude. Drive-through coffee is not a thing everywhere. It's mainly like a US thing, If you think about it, like in European countries, it's cafes, right? Cafes, you go somewhere, you enjoy your nice cup of joe at a leisurely rate. You're hanging with some buddies. You smoke a little cigarette on the patio. That's the thing, I guess. We're watching this show. It's called Industry. We actually just finished it. Nuts, dude. But they're in London. The majority of the thing takes place in London. And so they're just constantly like out there smoking cigs, dude. Like everybody does it. Kind of nuts. I've never been to Europe, but I'd like to experience that. Just like seeing that. I hear that too from people that have visited. And get a little mm, mm, mm. Talk about some caffeine. Um, but yeah, so other countries is not really as popular. Canada, yes, US, Australia, But many other places, I guess these are just countries that are huge too, right? Like you got to drive places. Like it's kind of insane how huge the US is, really. Compared to like you can fit like Denmark in the state of Texas like 15 times or something like that. Like that's nuts, right? You can fit another country 15 times in one of the states, just one of the states in the United States. Kind of crazy when you think about it. So, drive-through coffee, more of a US thing, right? Um let's talk about some a couple moments that really took drive-through coffee to the next level, dude. Starting off with number one, Starbucks. Starbucks going drive-through mid 90s, game changer, dude. Game changer. They saw the future, dude. Maybe we don't like so much of their, their policies these days, and employees not being treated well in some cases. So hope to see that turn around. But in the 90s, when they rolled out their drive-through locations, it wasn't just about speed, dude. It was about bringing the fancy Starbucks coffee to the busy people without the busy people having to leave their cars. Man, game changer. It sounds like Starbucks was a little reluctant at first, but you got to give the people what they want, man. You got to give the people what they want. It's what makes the world go round. Now, dude, in Seattle, like in metropolitan areas, there's a Starbucks like every block, every couple blocks. In Seattle, there, I think this was a 2020, a couple of years ago, 23 Starbucks per 100,000 people, equating approximately a store for every 4,000 residents. So that's a lot. What are there, like 700,000, almost a million people in the greater Seattle area? More than a million, something like that. That's a lot of Starbucks everywhere, dude. You see it. And a lot of them are grab and go, drive through, right? So big game changer there. Other big game changers? Think about this one, dude. Applications on your phone. Yo, before what? Before phones, before iPhones, before the BlackBerry, you couldn't pick up your phone, and I don't even think you could do that on a BlackBerry. Were there apps on Blackberries? I don't know, but apps have changed the game. You order something, hey, you know what? I'm about to bounce out of here in 10 minutes. I'm going to order it now. It's going to be ready when I walk through. Shoot, on my way to the next thing, dude. And we take that for granted, I feel like. You don't really think about it because it's so commonplace and it's just easy, and that's what we've always done or done for at least a decade now, right? But think about how luxurious that is, dude. Like some places you could even order to tomorrow. Like, you know what, dude? I know I'm gonna wake up at 6 a.m. I'm gonna do what I need to do. I'm gonna get ready, out the door, and at 7, I want my coffee. Have that shit ready for me with my bagel, dude. Damn. Talk about that's luxury, dude. That's living in the 21st century. We are in the future, dude. That's what I'm saying. I got a little excited there. Let me bring it back down. Sorry to yell in your ear. But apps, dude, game changers. Dunkin' Donuts, Dutch Bros, Starbucks. What else? Everywhere. Everywhere has online orders. Um, that's a luxury. That's kind of mind blowing just to thinking about like that wasn't a thing just in like even in 2000, right? There wasn't an app to order stuff ahead of time. There were drive-throughs. It was wild. What else? So more recently, Think about this one, dude. 2020, the pandemic, dude. Remember early days of the pandemic? People were not, you're not going in places. You're not going into the Starbucks. You're not going into Chipotle. You're not going in these spots. So that just totally flipped the going into a coffee shop and enjoying your coffee there. Pretty much everybody's going through the drive-thru now, you know? So drive-through coffee culture, even from 2020 to now, has changed, dude. A lot more people are going through the drive-throughs. And you also see it like, probably all of us for valid reasons of not wanting to go into a location too and be like, expose yourself to some shit. Like somebody might in there might be sick and be coughing, right? Nuts, dude. When you think about it. Even 2020 to now. So we're living through all these cultural changes, all these things, dude. We are part of history. Think about that. Nuts. Coffee history, dude. Imagine in like 50 years, you might be able to tell some, grandkids, maybe kids, grandkids, great grandkids at that time. Like, yo, back in the day, we used to have drive-through coffee. We used to go into the cafe and it wasn't drive-through. Imagine if there's ever a point where it's only drive-through now. Like we don't have little coffee shops, little cafes. That's not out of the realm of possibility, dude, if you think about it. But hey, so we've gone from 1930, right? 1930s, cars being a thing. People in the US need a whip around. We're on the go. 1940s, diners drive-through diners pop up. Fast forward to the 90s, then we got drive-through coffee, all right? Cafecito on the go. I don't know why I said that in that accent. But I'm getting caffeinated, dude. Hold up. Give me a little bit more of this. Oh yeah. Hold up. Here we go. I'm gonna take a sip of this. But dang. So yeah, so now we're in the 90s, right? And then 90s into the 2000s. Now 2020 and onward, drive-through coffee is just like we've always been doing this. This is the way we get coffee. All right? So that brings us up to now. Let's talk about a couple of big names, big contributors to these changes, right? The big three, if you might. Howard Schultz from Starbucks, right? Took Starbucks global, popped off. He's made billions of dollars, whatever. Yeah, man. Made it possible for people to pull up through a drive-through window, grab your mocha, grab your cappuccino, you grab your frap, let's go. They got the nice little egg bites these days. I like that. Starbucks pretty much became the gold standard for drive-through coffee spots, right? But close second, and Eastern Washington, shout out to the 509, Dutch Bros, dog. Dutch Bros, that shit growing up. There was a Dutch Bros right there by the Super One Foods in Walla Walla. Dude, that shit, get yourself a nice, way too big of a cup of fucking straight caffeine, straight Rebel and sugar and nothing else. Just Rebel and sugar. And 200 milligrams of caffeine straight into your veins, dude. I do love, though, that Dutch Bros, they're all about the energy, dude. They bring the energy. All year, like, you have to meet the vibe check to be an employee at Dutch Bros. And you also have to be probably, like, what? They're all, like, 15 to 17. Dude, there's no way, no reason for a 15 to 17-year-old to be chugging 400 milligrams of caffeine, and, and then jumping into your car asking you for your order, bro. That's hella funny. We were just talking about that the other day. How you go to a Dutch Bros and they're just waiting for you half a mile down the way. They're ready. They're like, "Oh, yep, you're pulling up. Come over here. I got you." And they pull up into your car. They get their arm in there and they're like halfway into your car. So what do you want? What do you need? How's your day going? What's up? It's like, dog, it's 7 a.m. Relax, please. Anyways, all love, Dutch Bros. Thank you for doing what you do. Thank you to all your workers out there keeping the vibes high, keeping the energy high. Sometimes it's a little bit much, but that's just me being an old man now, dude. That comes with age, huh? I guess. Um, who else, dude? Dunkin' Donuts. John Duncan from Dunkin' Donuts. Don't play, dude. Before it became all about the coffee, Dunkin' Donuts had already mastered the quick serve game, dude. Dunkin' Donuts. Did you know that's like a double, triple entendre? Dunkin' Donuts. Dunk your donuts. Dunk in, like, come through. Donuts. They got donuts. They got coffee. You dunk your donuts in. What? Somebody thought big brain moves there. Yeah, dude, Dunkin' Donuts though. Also really huge cups for some reason. I haven't been to a Dunkin' Donuts recently though. When was the last time I went to a Dunkin' Donuts? Probably like 4 years ago, maybe. Huh. Maybe I gotta circle back to Dunkin' Donuts. Dunkin' Donuts. What's your go-to like spot? Are you a Dunkin' Donuts only, always, all the way? You know? Because there are some people out there like that. I like to diversify the portfolio. I feel like you got to have a little bit of something new every once in a while. Keep it fun, dude. Life's too short. Life's too short. I get supporting who you want to support and what you want to support. So, you know what? That's fine if you just want to support one place. But I think you could spread the love, right? Spread the love. Anyway, so, dude, a lot of cool things, huh? A lot of cool things we just learned. So we went through a little bit of a history lesson of the reasons of why coffee culture sort of popped off, right? We're driving a lot these days. We are on the go. Whether it's you're driving to work, you got a lunch break, you're driving home and you got to deal with the kids and all this stuff that you got to study because you got night school and you need a little cup of joe on the way home, dude. Just hit yourself a little drive-through and get yourself caffeinated. Man, it's kind of cool. I mean, think about it. I just keep thinking, man, that's such a luxury. Being able to just pull up somewhere, hey, give me a this and a give me a that, please. And in like 5 minutes or less, you out of there. That's cool. That's cool. So think about that, dude. Next time you're going through a little drive-through coffee shop and, the history, you're part of history. Kind of cool. Kind of cool. So let's move on, dude. You know what? We're going to get straight into the playlist because, like I said, I know I get to rambling, but wanted to do a nice little history lesson that I was inspired by this drive-through spot that I went to. So shout out to you, Lighthouse Coffee Company at Bay Street. Shout out to you with the little. Dude, here's the thing. Actually, before we wrap this up, you gotta, when you go somewhere, I don't know what your theory is, but for me, if you're trying something somewhere new, you got to get your tried and true, right? So what I mean by that is get the thing that you know and love, and you know how it should taste, right? So when you go somewhere new, you're like, I'm going to test their Mexican mocha. For me, that's the thing, all right? So When I go to a new drive-thru or I go to a new coffee spot, I'm like, yo, let me try the Mexican mocha, please. Because I know how I've tasted several of them. And then you can kind of have that as your bar, right? For when you go to a new place where you're like, hey, this is how much cinnamon should be coming through in the Mexican mocha for my preference. So let me see if this spot over here hits the same, right? Because some places, you know, too heavy on the chocolate, too heavy on the cinnamon, too heavy on a little bit of the spice. It can throw it off. It's a delicate, simple but delicate drink. So get yourself your own version of the Mexican mocha, whatever that is. If it's a nice little cappuccino for you or whatever, just do that whenever you explore a new place. And it might take a little bit of the fears of exploring new places out of that exploration. Some food for thought. So let's get into this playlist, huh? Let's talk about some music. Well. We made it to the playlist. Now, this is not a playlist curated by your boy, but it is a awesome fire playlist nonetheless. It is a Spotify specific playlist, which I'll be linking. And, you know, that's that. We have the GDO Christmas playlist, right? Where is the season? But sometimes you want to shake it up. Listening to the same like 15, 20 songs that, come up every year over and over might get old. We got the Michael Bublé's, we got the Mariah Careys, we got the Frank Sinatras, we got the Ronettes, dude. But sometimes you don't want to hear these people singing, man. Give their voices a little break, right? Come on, give them a little break. I'm gonna put y'all on something smooth. This playlist I've been listening to, I'm saying if you want to get yourself a nice, calm mood, if you're trying to wind down, or if you got company over and I saw mama kissing Santa Claus, or whatever, right? You don't want that blaring. This is for you. It still feels festive, but it's not as potentially rambunctious, as the classic Christmas songs. Don't get me wrong, you still got classic Christmas music, just with a different twist. I'm going to put y'all on some cozy Christmas jazz. Yeah, boy. Dude. Warm, cozy, instrumental music for your listening pleasure. You got pianos, you got saxophones, you got clarinets, and more, man. It's nice. It's nice. Smooth jazz, dude. You got the classics. You got Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. You got It's Beginning to Look a Lot Like, But dude, do me a favor. Click the link for the playlist that's attached to this episode and listen. If you don't listen to any other ones, listen to Sleigh Ride by the Roddy Doyle Trio. Dude. And tell me that doesn't just get you feeling jolly, but in a smooth way. You're just going to have to listen and find out what I mean by that. Because It's the second track on the playlist. You don't even got to search that far. Just click the link, click the second song, and tell me that's not a vibe, dude. Dude. You guys know that song. I'm telling you, it's so good. So, anyways, find that link in the description of this episode. Thank you for tuning in. Happy holidays to you and yours. Look at me, dude. I'm at the plateau. I'm at the peak of the inverse U of niceness. I'm feeling generous. So, tap into the Instagram to find out what I mean by that. All right, until next time, thanks for tuning in.